Kitaria Fables is Twin Hearts' newest release on the Nintendo Switch. This action RPG farming sim hybrid is not shy about letting you know right out of the gate that you're here for chill vibes and a good time. The cutesy visuals and adorable inhabitants take no time in ensuring that Paw Village is the place you want to be. You play as a lovely customizable kitten who set out to protect a rather obscure village far flung from civilization, after some reports of some weird happenings occurring. Soon upon your arrival, in typical sim fashion, you inherit a homestead to watch over and to basically do with as you please. It is at this point that the game begins to let you loose to go explore and get to know the locals and even get accustomed to your soon-to-be constant routine of fetching, killing, crafting, and of course, growing. It has to be said right away, the focus on combat here is much more than I would have actually anticipated, and it's entirely welcome. Usually farming sims know that you're there for the farming loop and the simple day-to-day routine, letting combat take a back seat, but not here. First of all, your character is basically a blank canvas. There's no preset format for classes or traits. You simply play however you want and you'll slowly get better abilities and skill towards the things that you use and do the most. Combat is broken down with the typical basic attacks, dodges, special skills, and of course, something you'll unlock after a bit of time investment, magical spells. Combat in general is explored in several ways, be it your typical melee-focused affair that you'll start out with, letting you get accustomed to the flow of combat and the enemies themselves. Then magic is thrown on top of that as you learn to craft better and perfect spells and armor to accompany your newfound skills. One of the neat things that I really enjoy is how the game signals the enemy actions as they're about to be unleashed onto you by throwing out what you typically see in MMORPG style markers right on the ground. They signal where the attacks and spells will actually go and land, which is extremely helpful. Crafting and farming are two other major players for your time in this game. They both entail gathering materials, which is something not often forced upon you, but you're dependent on it if you wish to explore more and more and make the best of your time. They're often used in your armory and things just outside of growing plants, so it's always suggested to invest the proper amount of time in gathering whenever possible. Dungeon exploration to amass materials and even find riches is always made easier by focusing on crafting, and it even goes a long way when taking on quests to grow your friendships with the locals. Speaking of that, getting to know them better and helping them whenever they have a pending task for you will mean that you'll get a chance to enhance your skills in one or two different ways. This ties back to the combat and the seamless loop experience. I did spend all of my time playing on the Nintendo Switch Lite, so I'd like to thank PQube not just for providing me with the review code, but also the gameplay shown as well. Performance on Switch is rather solid for the most part, only Magic really casts a bit of a performance debuff in certain areas. Kitaria Fables isn't really surprising with what it's setting out to do, but it sometimes feels like it's trying a bit too much and not executing all of its goals at all times. Nintendo Sphere gives Kitaria Fables on Switch a 7 out of 10. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!